powerhouse in her own right. She currently sits as the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Research and Internationalization at UCT. She is a full professor of education mathematics, is a B2 NRF rated scientist. Listen here. On the social media streets, you know her with the hashtags Vukuzenzele, ulala njani ungekho kwi-Forbes list, ulala njani ungena PhD, past 3 a.m. squad. CEO magazine named her as the most influential woman academic in Africa in 2014, and in 2016 she was awarded the prestigious Business Award Woman of the Year in the education category. Ladies and gents, Apple Crunches, allow me to welcome the fabulous academic. Thank you, thank you. So where does the name Fab Academic come from? So when did it come about?
I can't remember, but I think it's because most of the time I feel fabulous, and I quite like the fact that I'm an academic, and these two things are not always put together. So then I thought Fab Academic, and I thought cheekily, who cares? if they're not gonna call me that, I'll call myself
a fabulous academic. Yeah. And in your mind, when you think about it, what are the things that make somebody fabulous? Or on the days when you feel fabulous, which to me I think is every day. Hashtag Fab Academic. What to you makes you feel fabulous?
I mean, firstly I take myself seriously, and so the way I look, the way I dress, how I take my work, I take it that seriously, that I want fabulosity to be written all over it. So whether it's my work, whether it's whatever, relationships, and how I carry myself. And so I describe it as fabulous, and I thought,
why not?
Why not?
Have you always been like that in terms of being able to take yourself seriously in your work, in the way you dress, in how you present yourself to the world?
I think I didn't think about it in that much detail, in terms of, how you present yourself to the world and so on, but I've always taken myself seriously. As a young person, I took myself seriously.
Yeah.
There are many things that I thought, I won't do that.
Yeah. That's
because I'm big like that. so I like telling myself stories. Because sort of stories of victory, of success, stories of power, so I always talk to myself and tell myself stories that make me feel strong, that make me feel positive, that make me feel optimistic, that make me feel that I can do this, because this world is harsh.
It is harsh.
And if you don't do that, it tells you oftentimes that you can't. That's the message you hear. And I'm a Christian, and so I have faith, and I believe that I am what God says, and so I tell myself that, because otherwise nobody tells
you that.
Yeah.
In one of your blog posts, you say you've learned the difference between loving and pleasing.
Yeah.
Can you share more about that?
Because it's sometimes we do things to please people, not because we love them, but because we want them to love us. And because you want people to love you, you please them, and you think in pleasing them, what you will get in return is love. And that's not always the case, and loving is something you do not to get something in return. You don't hope to get, you give, you offer your love, not because you'll get something in return. And so it's much more generous than pleasing.
Oh, wow.
Pleasing is a transaction. You give something and you want to get something back. And it's something that it's not just young people who get trapped in the realm of pleasing. Even adults get caught up in the realm of pleasing.
You kind of think it ends once you become an adult.
No, it doesn't. Just become a bigger child.
A more knowing child.
Yeah.
Now, how do you conceptualize self-love? And what does it look like to you?
I've been asked that question before.
Yeah.
And I've seen on social media when people talk about self-love, what they talk about, like when they've gone for a manicure or for whatever, that's self-love. And for me, taking myself seriously is self-love. Saying no to some things that I don't have to do, and it's self-love, because I need to rest, or I need to whatever. Taking a break is self-love. My husband and I love hiking, so
Yeah.
going up the mountain is self-love. It's because it's doing what I love, doing what makes me more me,
Yeah.
spending time with people who make me, who allow me to be me, and who I feel myself when I'm around. It's also self-love because it's a being in a space where I don't feel like there's anything that needs to be, that's wrong or inadequate or whatever about me. It's embracing myself, it's hugging myself, it's telling myself the good stories, is doing good to me.
Yes.
And I guess that's why it's different for other people. And doing good to me, I mean, sometimes people might think is being cruel to me, but it's doing good to me. Like I have a very busy diary, and I was saying to Julia, who of course is working with me for the first time since I got here, and she's concerned that, oh, you're so busy, whatever. And one day I said to her that it's actually good for me.
It's
I'm
what
happier
works
this
for
way.
you.
Yeah, I'm happier this way.
Mama, what time do you sleep? I think everyone wants to know this. Like, if you're part of the past 3 a.m. squad, what time must you go to bed? What time do you guys? I've asked them the bigger question. What time must
It's
you go?
not a national secret. Okay, here's the script.
Yes, tell us the script, please.
The correct, I guess, script is it's better to go to bed at 10 latest. Okay, so I plan to do that every day. It doesn't always happen. But even if it doesn't happen, I'm still up at 3. But 10 is my ideal time to go to bed because then I have enough hours in bed. In my view, it's enough to have 5 to 6 hours. But I do 4 sometimes, 3 on a hectic day.
What I find interesting is that you, in one of the posts that you write as well, you say that as you go into 50, one of the things that you want to say yes is yes to love as well, right?
Yeah.
And you spoke so wonderfully right now of people that you feel comfortable around, that being your husband too. And I just want you to perhaps speak to young women in terms of how you've conceptualized being a woman in relation to men, being a woman in relation to whom you choose to love, and how you choose to build a life, and the importance, I guess, of the kind of partner that you choose in becoming a fabulous person and becoming your best version of yourself as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's very important. For me, when I was looking for a husband, I wanted someone who would resonate with me and my way of being. That if I got married to someone who's not committed to their career, they would have found it a problem to be with me.
Yeah.
So it was important that the person is committed to their career. And that was to be important to their career for themselves, not for me. Okay, for themselves, so that they do it for them, because then that we can love each other properly. We each have our own commitments, and then we can love each other without, not that I wanted him to help me be committed, and I believe that when you choose a partner, you've got to be clear about firstly the practicalities of what's going to make it happen, but also the fact that you've got to be a complete whole. You've got to be you can't go into a relationship and think you're a 50%, they're going to complete you and make you 100%. You must be a 50%, a 100% person. You. And you get in there, not with arrogance, with humility and love, but you are you. You can cope on your own. You want companionship. We want companionship for different reasons. But not that the person is going to help you become you or become better or whatever. So I wanted a husband who's them 100%, and we can come together and build something beautiful together. And I can be committed to them as my partner, and they can be committed to me. Not that I'll take care of, make them a person, or they make me a person. And I guess as I was growing older, that became more important, because you realize nobody can make you what you are not. You as you grow, you become more of yourself, and so it was important that they like what I like. I hate alcohol, so the fact that they don't drink was an important part. If they drank, no, I don't care what my body says. you know, because my view is that love is a decision. It's not just a feeling.
Yeah.
It's a decision as well. And so the decision part of love said, if you drink that much, if you drink alcohol, we probably won't agree at some stage. You know, I don't want to have to deal with that, because in relationships there'll be many moments when we don't agree
about other
about
things.
other things. So I'm not gonna get into a situation where already just at the point of starting.
The things that you know are a big no to you.
Exactly,
right? Yeah.
exactly. So you've got to figure out what are those things that are a big no for you, and that you know, even if you can tolerate, you know, I wouldn't go with that. You know, I'll go with what can I live with.
Yeah. So you spoke about commitment to your career.
Yeah.
My question is, what are the patterns of productivity, right? Like, so what do you look at in your life and you think, when I'm most productive, one, this is how I do things.
Yeah.
And I think for other people, especially who want to be part of Ulala Njani PhD, right? Like, so what are those patterns that you see and you can say, these are the things that lead to somebody being productive and to finally getting their PhD or finally achieving the goals that they've set out for themselves?
I mean, it's firstly knowing that days are not the same. So I start at 3 o'clock every morning, have a shower, whatever, in my office, it's just 5 o'clock. And I know that some days I come into the office, I can write a paper, doom, it's done. Or half a paper, or whatever section I wanted to go through. But some days it's not possible.
Yeah.
And so, but I know myself. So you've got to learn to listen to yourself and get to know yourself. And when on a day when it's not possible to write, what do you do?
Yeah.
So you can read.
Okay.
You can catch up on the latest research. You can do admin. You can, you know. So you've got to have a list of things that you need to do. So I do that to myself. And then there are times when you are not, you know, it's not a great time for you. Maybe you're feeling less confident. Maybe you're feeling a little down. And I've learned to understand myself in that way. So when that's happening, what do I do? You know, I remind myself, I tell myself those stories of power, of victory, of success. I go on YouTube because I have videos now. I look at videos of myself, seriously, of doing things that work. I read something that I wrote. Do you know what I mean? Just because it's easy to, when you're feeling less powerful, not confident, whatever, you think you can't do certain things. And for me, when I look at the video of myself doing something, I'm like, that's me.
That's me.
I prepared that talk.
Yes.
You know, I can do this. Do you know what I mean? So you can tell yourself that, but maybe you don't have videos, but you have pictures.
Yeah.
You know, I look at
pictures mean
pictures.
something.
Yeah, I look at pictures of myself at moments of power. All of us have got moments of power in our lives. It's not everyone. It doesn't matter, even if you didn't get something right today, somewhere in your life you had a moment of victory, you had a moment of power, whether it was when you passed matric, whether it was when you ran that marathon and completed. The issues, can you recall that? Use it to channel. And so I've learned to understand myself that way. When things are right,
this is how
if I'm, so that I feel productive, I don't feel like I wasted. So some people, they wanted to write something, they come, it's a bad day, they can't write, they can't concentrate, they start stressing. And then they sit on the couch, and then they punish themselves. And then 3 hours later, they're like, I've wasted so much time, the day has gone, I haven't written anything, this PhD is going to the dogs. You know, but you can do something else
that feeds you.
That feeds you, but then you feel productive. You've read one paper, or you've reminded yourself of how good. And usually after doing those reminders, I feel powerful. Sometimes I don't write a paper, I write a blog. I reflect on something, you know. So,
2 more questions. One, what's the best advice that you've carried with you that somebody had said at a particular time in your life, or advice that you hold dear to heart, or word that sustains you at points in your life?
You know, we never succeed on our own. There's always someone who holds your hand, opens the way, cheers you on. And so in your journey, you always have to recognize that. Who is that someone, or who are those people? Not only recognize them, take care of them. I have learned, that's one lesson that I've learned in my life. Like, There are people who open doors for you, who carry you, who hold your hand, who whatever. Who are those people? Take care of them.
What are your primary values?
Hard work, integrity, and sincerity. I think I'm absolutely, unashamedly open and honest with people, and so you either like me or you don't like me. Oftentimes, people are never in between.
They choose either or.
It's either or. It's like they either hate me with a passion or they love me with a passion.
With a passion, they choose a side.
They choose a side, and but that's because I prefer to be sincere, and honest, courageous, hard work. Of course, humble, respectful. But I will, so when you see me smile, it's genuine. I can't play. I don't play people. If I'm not happy, I'll tell you this is not working. This is not working.
What would you say to your younger self?
Well, now, okay, I would say, Kgethi, it's okay to tell people, to be courageous and tell people what you think. Just smooth it up a little bit.
Smooth it up a bit.
Just smooth it.
Smooth it up a bit. And then finally, I want you to, because this is a Women's Day vlog specifically, what do you want to say to young women in South Africa who are listening to you, who look at you and are inspired by the kind of woman that you are, and they think, that's whom I want to be like one day?
Be who you are. Don't take nonsense. Work hard. Don't apologize for being fabulous, and stay the course. Sort of, I also remind myself of that all the time. But I also feel like I could tell young people, and I wish someone told me that many years ago. Just be who you are, because we are stronger when we are who we are. We are more confident when we are who we are. Don't apologize. Just and stay the course.
And stay the course.